Hey guys, Adam here from DirectionTrader.com. Let's do today's market recap. It's about 10 till close here. Let's go ahead and start talking about the S&P and the Russell and some of the stock index futures, and then we'll resort over to the crude for a few minutes here. First thing on the Russell, we have a little bit of a divergence on the histogram down here and on some stochastics. I don't show it on this chart, but we are showing a little bit of a bullish move here. We have lower lows on price, but we have a higher low on our histogram and our stochastics. So we are looking for that pop to the upside, avoiding these falling moving averages. These moving averages that are starting to roll over, we need to avoid them. But the move on like the S&P, the Dow, and the NASDAQ, the typical pullback that they've been experienced over the course of the last few years, we're about reaching its threshold as of this point right now. The Russell's been trading sideways, but when it comes to the S&P and these other instruments, they've had a pretty nice pullback, and they're actually looking like they're ready to bounce now. Now, I'll pull up that here in just a minute, but what have we been looking at here on the Russell that keeps us into this market and not wanting to sell off? Well, we keep on paying close attention to the previous day's price levels. We've been looking to buy the previous day's low, sell the previous day's high whenever it comes up there. And we're still going to continue to look for that until we get in a very, very good trending environment, such as what the S&P and the NASDAQ and the Dow have been. The Russell's been in more of a sideways slop and chop. You can see that. So as long as the Russell continues to be in this slop and chop, we must focus on that previous day's price action. Meaning, let's be very aware of where the market is trading in respect to the previous day. We talked about that in a video, a couple of videos ago, on using the previous day's price action to benefit when trading the daily intraday charts. So here I'm just going to continue to come in the morning. I'm going to look at the previous day's range and where we're trading in respect to that previous day's range, which would be today's range. If we're stuck inside of it, I'm going to look to sell the highs, buy the lows. Any type of break, I'm going to look to go with it. I don't care. The Russell has room to move to the downside, and it has plenty of room to move back towards the upside if the other stock indexes are ready to start bouncing, which I'm going to talk about right now. The S&P, let's just go back and let's view a little bit bigger view here. The S&P has had some pretty good pullbacks that some people have told me I'm crazy for just saying the pullbacks, because they keep on saying, no, the market's going to start rolling over, it's running out of steam. But if you look at this, all these pullbacks are virtually the same thing. Same thing. There was something in the news during this time, and so forth. And this is just a technical pullback at this point. Now, do I think we're going to go to the moon forever? No. But am I going to trade this like it's just a pullback in the market? Yes, I am. So, as you can see, the S&P and the Dow and the NASDAQ all have virtually the same type of pullbacks here. They're just measured moves in respect to what they've been doing. So I'm just going to treat them that way. As long as they continue to hold their price levels, I'm going to look for I'm going to look for some more pop here. So that's the reason I said if the Russell is willing to break to the upside out of the previous day's range, I'm going to go ahead and go with it to the long side. So I'm going to have a lot more on this topic come tomorrow in the video. I hope we can either get a pop or even more of a pullback for us to talk more about it, but we will go into further depth tomorrow. Crude is the one I really want to hit on right now. Crude was awesome today. We have some support here on crude that we've been dealing with lots of support, and we just had to be really, really, really patient and disciplined. Just show our patience and discipline to really wait on crude to give us the right opportunity, not all the opportunities. So, with that being said, we've been marking up the previous day's range, previous day's highs, previous day's lows, and we've been looking for them breaks. Today, the crude was so choppy, guys. We had a very, 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 very choppy trading environment in crude. And then we had this big sell-off, and I had lots of individuals in the room asking why in the world I wasn't taking that sell-off. And they just couldn't get why I was not taking the sell-off in the crude market while it was a very clear step down. Well, that's because on the crude, we had lots of support that came through here, lots of support to the downside. And on a 5-minute chart, you've seen the moving averages just pointing sideways. Now this is a very small 233 tick chart, but the 5-minute just had all our moving averages pointing sideways, and it was still technically this type of market. So we're just zoomed in on a small portion of this, the 233 tick, but what we did have was we had them previous days lows that we wanted to avoid. So we knew we wanted to avoid them previous days lows, so we went ahead and we waited and we waited and we waited. And if we can go ahead and look over here at a 5-minute chart, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. We were looking at this level right here. As the market approached it, that was in previous days lows. This was the previous day's lows. So as it approached it, you see it stair-stepped its way down really nicely, and then all of a sudden it kind of just went sideways right here. As it popped down, that's when we took our next opportunity. We shorted right in this range. Once we got down below, some people took a free trade. Some people were able to hold on for a nice little push down for some further follow through, and that's where we actually took it. So we waited on the longer time frame on the 5-minute chart. We waited and we waited and we waited all day for this thing to go ahead and break down below the previous day's range, and that provided us with what doesn't look like a lot, but to be patient like that and get that opportunity for that profitable trade there at the end of the day, end of the morning session, it was very huge in the development for a lot of individuals in the live trading room. It was a day of patience. It was a day of discipline. We took one trade today, and it didn't come until 11 o'clock Central here on the crude market once it broke lower. So it's not about getting into a lot of trades, getting into the right trades on a daily basis. We had slop and chop. We had a lot of talking. We had the stock index futures doing a lot of that push up, chop, 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 push, chop, 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 push, chop, 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 push. And we had a lot of that. And we ended up resorting over to crude, which had inventory day to day. And we were very, very patient to wait all day long. It's rare for us. We've had 3 days this entire year where we took no trades in a live trading room. And we waited and we waited and we waited for the optimal time to go short. And that happened to come right around that 11 o'clock hour Central Standard Time on the crude. So patience and discipline, guys, really will pay off in the end. It's not that you have to trade a lot. You want to trade the right trades so you can stick around for the long haul in this business. So hope that helps, guys. Got a little bit long-winded today. We talked about a little bit more stuff and bounced around a little bit more than I would normally like to, but I wanted to go ahead and cover some of them stock index futures, but then definitely hit on that crude and how we were patient and disciplined to wait for the right setup, not all the setup. So hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, go ahead and email me, adam@directiontrader.com. If not, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Have a good day.